according to his lights in his service. So I thought that fit in pretty well with what we've got going this month. And I thought this one did too. So the master teaches the students that God created everything in the world to be appreciated, since everything is here to teach us a lesson. One clever student asked, "What lesson can we learn from atheists? Why did God create them?" Master thought and responds, "God created atheists to teach us the most important lesson of all, the lesson of true compassion. You see, when an atheist performs an act of charity, visits someone who is sick, helps someone in need, and cares for the world, he is not doing it because of some religious teaching. He does not believe that God commanded him to perform this act. In fact, he does not believe in God at all. So his acts are based on an inner sense of morality. And look at the kindness he can bestow on others simply because it feels right. This means," the master continued, "that when somebody reaches out to you for help, you should never say, 'I pray to God that you will get the help.' Instead, for that moment, you should become the atheist and imagine that there is no God who can help, and say, 'I will help you.'" That's it.
That's it. Okay. There's a car beeping out there. If it's a blue, oh, okay. So, presentation of the colors, if you'll join me. Pledge of allegiance, Scout salute. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. 2. Scout sign. Scout law. Scout oath. On my honor, I will do my best, do my duty to God and my country, and to obey Scout law. Help other people at all times. Keep myself physically strong, mentally awake, and morally straight. Scout law. Scout is trustworthy, loyal, helpful, friendly, courteous, kind, obedient, cheerful, thrifty, brave, clean, and reverent. Outdoor code. As an American, I will do my best in my outdoor manners. Be careful with fire, consider the outdoors, and be conservation-minded. 2. Thank you. Tonight, we still need some volunteers, one of which is the planning committee. Tim Davies has been doing it, and he's actually been doing it after he retired and then had to come back. So really that spot is open, but we need some district membership support. And should you be interested in that, you can see Bill Kohler right there. And Ross Billows is not here tonight, and he's our district chairman. Tonight's agenda. So for Cub Scouts, we have how to help your AOL Scouts connect with a troop, which is perfect continuation of the red carpet event last month. For Scouts BSA, the Chris Squared over there, Chris and Christine are working on older youth Scouts. And then if you have any questions about registration or rechartering, then Mike Ober is here, and he can help you with that. And now a safety moment. Here you go.
Breakfast of coffee. Now, there's a guy that's in the middle of a serious coffee addiction. Many of us Scouters know what that's like. I can't recall many Scouters without a cup of coffee on them at any Scouting event. Now, next slide, please. We're going to talk a little bit about energy drinks. What are they? Are they safe? Do they have a place in Scouting? Well, according to the National Institute of Health, a 24-ounce energy drink has as much coffee in it as 4 caffeine in it as 4 to 5 cups of coffee. Now, a cup of coffee has about 90 milligrams of caffeine in it. And, they also contain other additives we don't really know. Sometimes there's secret stuff. There's also sugar and sweeteners. So, on top of having an overdose of caffeine in these kids, they're going to get all sorts of sugar and perhaps bloat up a little bit. Now, high doses of coffee, especially in a kid of scout age, may cause some serious side effects. You adults may know this if you've gotten that double espresso at Queequeg's or Starbucks or wherever you go, because that could disturb the heart's natural rhythm. That's real important. I have some serious issues with that. Raising blood pressure, increasing the risk of sudden death. Energy drinks are also linked to reduction in blood flow, because they constrict the blood vessels. Seizures, behavioral disorders, along with anxiety, insomnia, stomach upset, restlessness, and headaches. Anyone who's, and trust me, caffeine is a drug. Getting off of it can be difficult, and really, you, just like any other one, you gotta kind of back off a little bit on it. Now, sports drinks do not contain caffeine. They do have carbs, they do have nutrients, and they do have various different essential minerals. And they also got a lot of sugar in them too. Trust me, my teeth started, my doctor asked me, dentist asked me, hey, something's going on with you getting more cavities. You doing anything different? He said, well, drinking a lot more Gatorade now. He says, you need to switch to the Gatorade light stuff, John. Now, because of these potential health risks, energy drinks are to be discouraged at all scouting events. And the thing about the issue of disturbing the heart's natural rhythm, it's especially true in younger kids where you can get arrhythmia on it. And if you don't have some sort of device with you, the kid could go into cardiac arrest. And I know that personally. So, next slide.
Yep.
Here's just a few of the things you might see out there. A lot of these things are only 12 ounces. But believe it or not, the one that everybody thinks of all the time is going to be your
Monster.
Yeah, the Monster, or then there's one that's not up there. Red Bull, it's not up there. Oh, I guess it is. Wait, yeah, right there. It has only about the same amount as one thing of coffee if it fell on carbs and sugar. These little suckers here have 200 milligrams of caffeine in them, and you can take one of those, and it'll send you on a little journey. So, this will be available later. But as you can see, there's some out there like this one here, 300 milligrams of caffeine in it. Oh boy, that'll get your heart going. Or maybe it'll stop it, I'm not sure which. So, with that, that's my safety moment for this month. Drink responsibly.
Okay. Thank you, John. So, district announcements. We're trying to put more on the rolling deck. So what we're going to do is we're going to PDF that and actually put that out after this meeting. So if you need something that you don't see here, you'll see it there. And I believe this is still the good calendar, but we do need to change it to 24-25. That's my fault. So Colorado Jamboree, all of you that helped, thank you. We really do appreciate it. Coming up in December is the Black Feather Winter and Centennial Cub Scout Home on the Range, so look for that. We have Blue in Isles. The Blue is actually down at PV, and that's this weekend. And Randy, Randy is our training chair. There's nothing set yet for spring?
Right, it'll be the end of April, 1st of May.
Okay.
We ended up canceling an aisle and a booth for lack of registration, so we're trying to figure out.
Okay. Yeah, so be on the lookout for that. And registration is open.
If you have a brand new leader who wants to go to this Baloo or to this aisle, have them register, send us an email with their registration, their confirmation number and receipt, and we will get them reimbursed for Black Feather District as a way of saying thank you for becoming a trained leader to help out your youth.
So registration is closed, but if they email me, I can get them in.
Okay. It helps when you're the one that's running the course. Okay. Just so you know, Springwood Badge is open, and it's going to be run by Toby Williams. And if you have any questions, there's the email, and it's also on the rolling deck. We have some training events coming up. Jamboree on the Air is the 18th and 19th. There's Wilderness First Aid, I believe that's still going on. And there's a few other ones that are coming up. And again, check the rolling deck.
And can I just say, if you have a radio thing, question, just come to me.
Yep, thank you. That's Greg,
I'm Greg.
who writes the wrong year on the checks. Order of the Arrow. So coming up, there's a movie night. And November 13th is chapter leadership elections. And then there's the holiday party coming up in December. Fall recruiting, we have meetings. Anything you want to add?
On fall recruiting, yes. Despite us not being able to get into any Douglas County schools this last month.
This is for the recording. So.
Yeah, so for us not being able to get into Douglas County Public Schools last month, we actually did amazing. We were up, I think, Asher, 10 scouts over recruiting this same time last year without being able to actually get into schools and do school talks. And that is entirely because of you as PACs, as leaders, getting in, doing the things you can do in the community. We're hoping to do the same thing this month. We are keeping our recruiting tools open year-round now as we head into spring recruitment being mandatory for troops. An email went out on that earlier this last week on trying to set up meetings with your key threes for Asher and I to help give tips and plan that for all of our troops. So please feel free to use those resources this month as you do community events, truck or treats, fall festivals, whatever is going on in your area. Let us help you reach out to the community, since that seems to be where we have a success as a district. If we can recruit 27 kids as a district per week this month, we will more than double what we did in October last year. That is not a hard challenge, so we are doing awesome, and it is all thanks to all of you. Yeah.
Hold on, I have one here.
Any information, confirmation, or knowledge that little school districts stopped the classroom visits? That's what I've been told by our principal.
For Littleton?
Yeah, anybody confirm that?
Littleton, do you know, you're probably correct.
We have tried working with Littleton Public Schools. They are far easier to work with in Douglas County Public Schools, but they have also not let us in for cafeteria or classroom talks so far this year. Some of them seem amenable to it, but schools this year are very tight-locked in the greater Denver area. And it seems like we have better access getting in through working through you individually as units. So if as units you have a connection with the school, to the principal, to the PTA, PTO, whatever, that could help us get our foot in the door there to help expand your reach and recruiting efforts, please help us out. That way we can help you out, because it has been very hard this year.
I thought we had an avenue with the door shut this week.
Yeah.
How is it in Elizabeth?
I was going to say in Elizabeth, we had a little bit of trouble as well. However, in using our connections, we have been invited to have a table during the parent-teacher conferences. And so we were able to get into a few back-to-school nights, but they've also invited us, we got ourselves invited to be part of the
the parent-teacher conferences. And so obviously you're not going to have the kids there, but it's a good time for the parents to just see you, get exposure. So parent-teacher conferences, that's what we're working on right now.
Okay, thank you. Jared's got it. Okay. So the next roundtable, Cub Scouts are going to be talking about blue and gold banquet planning. And we will have a special presentation for Scouts BSAs. So please get your soon-to-be Life and Life Scouts here, and we will have Mr. Reynolds and Mr. Deneen will come and present that to our Scouts. And then again, if you need it, are we going to do that next month or no? He's planning on it, so he's here. December as well. So I don't have to change the slides that much. It's so good. So I did try to change the Scouting America at the bottom. So, okay. Next is our Big Rock. And right now we're about to start scouting for food. And we come upon the winter months, it gets a little tough. So you want me to go over here? So we just kicked it off, and this is the presentation that we got. So I wanted you to see some of it. I'll run through it, but if you have questions, your Scouting for Food chairperson is me. So if you have any questions, please feel free, give me a holler, and we will work with you. I actually had one for John the other day. So together we can make a difference. That's really what it's all about. If we get together and we can help, there's a lot of, as you can see right behind me, the church is running a food drive. We do ours early November, and then we pick up everything on November 10th, or 9th. So that is me, the second one. And if you have any questions, feel free to contact me. And ask me tonight, I'll give you my information. So our goal is to sign up as many Scouts as possible, many units as possible. And the faster we know what's going on, you can get door hangers, put them on there. Some were already given out at Colorado Jamboree. But basically, my job here tonight is to communicate this Scouting for Food. So step one is just register your troop, and there is a QR code. What I'm going to do after tonight is I'll put this presentation onto the rolling deck as well. So at least some of the slides. And then you can just go into Double Knot, and that's how you'll do it. Just register your troop. You're going to tell them how many participants are. Basically, I think you're going to tell them how many door hangers you're going to need. You're going to distribute those.
Well, commentary. The first question on Scouting for Food is how many? Oh. The first question on the Scouting for Food registration is how many, and it's how many registrations, and so you should put 1. Unless you're registering multiple units, which I found out through order of elimination, because we did try a number of flyers first, and that was wrong. And then we tried number of Scouts, which was also wrong. So the correct answer is 1.
Perfect. I did not know that because unfortunately I was away last week and I couldn't make the presentation. So there is a little script as well, but this is what the door hanger looks like. And it also gives you some suggested items. So you can put that on the door. If you're talking with the people, they will, you should try your certain neighborhoods and maybe work with another unit as well. So, and then what you're going to do is you're going to put this out on December 2nd and 3rd. November. What month did I say? December? Okay, November. It's been a really long day, everybody. So that's the front and that's the back of the same door hanger. And then you'll collect the food on November 9th. Try and do it in the morning, get it done, and then you'll return everything to the, you'll go to the houses that you put the door hangers on. And for the scout troop and the pack, this tells you where you've left things. So I can, if you need any of this information, I can just email it to you as well. And then you're going to drop off your food. Now, I live in Parker, so they're going to probably drop off their food at Parker Task Force. Castle Rock has a couple. Highlands Ranch has a couple. There's Food Bank of the Rockies, which is actually overseeing all this, but the goal is to get it to those in need. And more importantly, you get it to those in need in your community, basically, is what we're trying to do. So you'll pick up the food, you'll drop it off up in the Lakewood area, Food Bank of the Rockies. John Beatty is overseeing all of this, and that's him in the light blue shirt. He's been doing this forever. And then what we want you to do is record your results and go back onto the double knot and you record afterwards. And now there are some people that are helping out. I believe it's you guys that are doing, somebody was talking to me about it.
Our charter,
You're,
we drive, and so we're helping them.
yeah, they're helping them. So what you can do is you can work with those and figure out some numbers. We can work on that. But the most important part is that you are participating. Right around the same time, Parker Task Force and 9 News would run stuff. So my troop would always help with Parker Task Force collecting at the door at Safeway or where Walmart or King Soopers. And then if you need to know a script, we actually have one for the scouts that are going to be knocking on those doors and asking their friends and neighbors. And then again, the results will be distributed a little bit after November 11th. So the goal and some suggested items, which is also on the door tag, which is nice.
Hey, Wayne.
Yes.
Do we know yet how we're going to report those results? Sometimes it's just been a random website. You mentioned double knot, that surprised me, but
Yeah.
other years, many years ago, it was part of JTE or, small unit or what have you. I just don't know. Maybe nobody knows yet. That'll be a surprise.
Do you know off the top of your head? You were at that session, I wasn't.
Yes. Mariana Larea at the office is our office person in charge of scouting for food this year. And y'all will send all information to her, whether it end up being through double knot, through email requests, what have you. She will report to us as DEs what units we had that signed up and participated in scouting for food. That way we can mark that on your unit list for 5-star program. Yep. So that will be recorded that way.
And on top of that, CC me.
Yeah, okay. Whatever it is, it sounds like we're going to get an email maybe telling us it's time to turn the info in or something.
Right.
That's
and what I'd like is that you CC me and then I see everything as well. Sure. And then I can be your advocate as well. Because that's my job. And that is it. So, yes, sir.
Are we going to know where we're going to drop the food off for each?
Are you going to know where you're going to drop off the food?
Yes.
Castle Rock has a spot that you guys have been using for years, correct?
what I'm asking. We've got 3 food banks in council.
What is that?
Hope we've got the Rock Church and we've got St. Francis.
Tim Davies can answer my question.
I was on the website just before we came over here. The council is going to have a list of those that are participating in this program on the website. So I think that will answer everybody's question. But I don't think that that would limit you to making arrangements to deliver your food to somewhere else, because it's all going to those who need to eat.
Right. As long as it's being distributed to one of the ones on there. And honestly, even if it's not, but it's going to a food bank, I think that's what the goal is. Because I know a few that are not on the website, but that's fine. Yes.
Guys, scouting for food is super important. I am an adult who grew up as a child in a household that had to some years get our food from programs such as this. It truly saves lives and changes lives. So for all of y'all who are doing it, I want to say thank you personally. If you aren't doing it and you would like to participate with your unit, please reach out to Mariana Larea. She can help you get signed up if you're having any issues with the links. I do not enjoy skipping over holidays because it's very important coming up for Thanksgiving, and my favorite holiday, Halloween, is right around the corner. However, Christmas came early. If you have signed up for Scouting for Food, I have brought all of your door hangers and information you would need tonight. I have packs on this table. I have troops on that table over there. And not
Awesome.
a sidetrack from Scouting for Food, but if you represent a troop here and you had any Eagle Scouts this last year who should have gotten a certificate, I have a whole table full of them over here labeled out by which troop. Please pick them up tonight so you're not getting your 5th phone call from me on it this next week. Yeah.
Sounds good. Yes, ma'am. Right behind you.
Oh, if we already have something scheduled in our pack for November 9th, would it be okay if we collected the food at a different time? You know, like say November 10th?
I would
Or
think that would be
November
fine
8th or
to also
something.
work it out with your food bank. That I had that happen one time, and what we ended up doing was I went on Monday or Tuesday because they were closed on Sunday, but I just put it all in my car, kept my car in the garage, and then took it all to the food bank on Monday or Tuesday of that week. So as long as you're coordinating with your local food bank as well on that, in a case of like that, just so they know that you can get it.
Okay.
Something to note, the date and time of pickup is written on the door tags. So if you are going to choose a different time to pick up, you might want to modify those before you hand them out so that they know when to put their stuff out.
Exactly. I was just about to say that. So that's perfect. Okay. That is Scouting for Food. We're still getting closer. So breakouts will be, I hear you. Breakouts will be back here for Scouts BSA, and we will be in here. Mike, where do you want, you want? Okay, and what's your question?
Actually, it's a question for you, because I don't think this year is going to be too late this year.
On the door tags for next year, put the food bags and food boxes out the morning of pickup. A lot of us live in bear country.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So that makes sense. But, okay. If you're wondering why we're passing the mic around, it's because we are recording this so that we can put it out on Facebook as well and on the district.
Yeah, goal is to live stream via YouTube. Right now, we lack the bandwidth to actually get it up and out of the room currently, but we're going to see what we can figure out for that for next month.
So we're working it, so.
It will be recorded. It'll be posted on YouTube shortly after so that you can send it out to your units and get everybody the information.
Okay, thank you. And we're ready for a break. Kyle, I'll answer your question right over there. What? Quick, oh, that's right. Kyle has one quick announcement.
I'm actually going to modify it to 2. I have a volunteer opportunity in Parker in a couple days. If anybody is interested in having some volunteer time for any of their scouts, it's a horse therapy place in Parker that helps out disabled people and whatnot, particularly children with horse therapy. Also, Wood Badge Breakfast is coming up next Saturday, a week away. So get on Double Knot and register to go.
I think so, just because it makes it. I think there's like enough of us that we can.
It is a small group.
Yeah. Or I don't know. Maybe we can. I guess. Might as well. Is this my good side?
Nobody gets to know about the breakouts. You just show up for
Yeah, that's it. Secret breakouts.
If you don't report it, you may want it.
That's fair. We can always peel it out and just put
just like a bars and tone screen with the Scout logo.
So he made a, join the Discord page for, to show on the video.
I put a message on Discord in response to somebody else's message.
Okay.
I can't find it. Is there a way, like, I can,
There's
The moderator deleted it now.
There's a search at the
So-
Didn't meet our lofty
So
standards.
what happened was, we got an email that the one about that person traveling in from abroad.
Oh,
and
yeah.
coming here.
Yeah.
It seemed
Did
very,
you get it at all?
very
Oh, I
vague.
think I saw your
Here,
message.
Okay,
I'll
you
find it.
did
Here, you
see
can
it.
read it. 'Cause
Yeah.
I see you in there.
I'm just
Okay.
a bit.
Yeah,
did
you're
you
on the
see-
general channel.
Okay, that was general. But did you? Okay.
Hang on.
Yeah, in response to the question about there was someone coming in
Yeah.
from like another country that wanted to hang out with.
They sent that to our pack our membership email.
It's right there.
Okay.
I can see
Okay.
it.
I just.
Did they
Did I
contact
do
any
it?
of the other
I
units in the area?
Not that I know of. You guys are the only ones I've heard it from.
No, because 620.
Oh,
So
also got
So
it?
they must really.
620
They must be in
Valerie
Highland.
H. 620 did she's
Oh,
like,
she posted
and you-
originally.
Yes.
So you
And
guys
Kit
got it at
responded.
870
Yeah.
and we got it to
So it
620.
must, they must be in Highlands Ranch. They must actually be looking and knowing
I
how to
just,
find us.
I thought it was
Yeah.
very vague, and when I asked Sean about
Yeah.
it, I was just like, I don't know.
Also, we have youth protection. I know they said they're a leader, but I'm like, I don't want to really tell you where I meet or what time or anything pertinent.
So
So I
that's
find out a
right.
little bit more about you.
Because you have responded about it.
Yeah, because I was like,
mean,
well,
it's
we're not
cool.
meeting because it's 12.
Yeah, it's interesting. I don't know. That's.
I'd like to
So-
think people are, but I
Is
was
there a
so
name
vague.
associated with it, right?
Yeah,
India or
it's
something?
India.
Like,
So,
I would
I
include
did
my
some like
website,
Google
I would
stalking.
include like.
Couldn't
Well,
find anything.
So,
Yeah, I don't know.
but if you go to, you guys ever gone up and searched international scouting?
Not specifically, unless I was looking at a country scouting for the AOL.
So, back when I was a Cub master, that was one of the things that I went and did, is I tried to do some international scouting searching, because that was part of,
A World Crest.
Yeah.
Crest. And I contacted probably a dozen scout leaders across the world, and
But you provided information about yourself.
well, it was kind of cryptic like this. Hey, I'm a scout leader, and we're looking at international scouting, and, trying to get some information on it. That's kind of what that comes across as a little bit.
But I don't know, I would
You're
just find
definitely not
it
going to
out
wake up in a bathtub with your kidneys.
But what I'm saying is you can go out there and you can try and look and see if in the UK on scouting, if this person's ever posted anything onto a scouting blog in the UK.
But how do you?
I don't know. I Google stalked the name. I couldn't find anything.
It's just one of those things,
Yeah.
you just kind of go.
Yeah, that's fair. I get you.
Well, and that's where the paid scouters.
Yeah.
That's
Sick Evie on them.
Evie and I mean, that's part of what their job is to vet some of this stuff. I don't know if it'll work, but
I
they've
mean, we
got.
can reply and ask for more info to see if they're legit.
Exactly. Yeah.
I know, but see, then I feel like, what if that?
You opened the door.
You've made a connection. They're like, oh, this is a real person.
Dun, dun, dun.
I feel like.
Would only respond from that.
We can email from that.
We can.
No, it's not an actual email account.
Oh, is it
It's
just
it's a
a
redirect.
forwarding? Oh, okay.
I know. You can't actually go into Google. You sure?
You might be able. Maybe I can ask Andrew, but I don't think you can directly email from that account.
From
But
the
it's
membership accounts.
But it's a regular.
We got because I think it's just set up in Zoho or on Google Suite.
Well, I logged into it.
You logged into that and had into its inbox.
Yeah, I didn't see anything. I was like, why am I not
I
seeing
just replied from my personal inbox. 'Cause it's
No, I do, but I did it for the
committee chair has one.
for the Google Meet.
That's committee chair. Committee chair doesn't.
Oh, okay.
I don't think membership does. I think it's just
Oh,
a
okay,
redirect.
okay. All right.
So it isn't much of a breakout if it's us and Jerry.
We're just chatting. Yeah.
These
Okay, so
little ones like this would actually be good because you get.
You just talk about whatever you want to
How's
talk
your red
about.
carpet go?
We did not get as many people out there as I would have liked, but I'm pretty sure that almost every single person who showed up has now signed with me. So almost everybody got registered. What ended up happening, it was a handful of people that I had talked to at other events. So I went to a back to school night at one of our charter schools. And then I think I had gone to a homeschool info day at a park and talked to a bunch of people. And so I handed out a lot of those flyers about that event. So the people who showed up were really interested. So they were just looking for which unit to join. They already knew they wanted to join a unit.
Did it most your so ours was mostly troops all showed up and we had a ton of.
So he did his own red carpet.
Oh, it was
sorry, you were talking about the Weeblos one?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. No, I did my own thing.
Okay.
He did his
But
own red carpet.
we also did a Weeblos red carpet.
Okay.
For Cub Scout recruitment.
Oh, I really like that idea.
So
why not? We could expand it to do that.
So my idea, so what we had done this time was we did it separate. So I basically had the idea that like the Weeblos red carpet seemed like.
But we can't call it Weebelos.
No, we're Cubs.
We're the Cubs.
You look for Mike.
But really, it's AOL red carpet, not Weebelos.
Exactly. But
Right?
it's
Or-
supposed to be AOLs, but then
But
if somebody wants to
there's
show up
the
as a
time.
Weeble, I guess it doesn't really make a
Might as
difference.
well let them start meeting.
And honestly, so what we ended up talking about, so what I did, was I was like, the idea behind come out here, check out all the units and pick the best fit, to me makes all the sense for Cubs just as much as it does for troops.
Oh, yeah.
And so that was the idea behind that. I called it Cub Scout red carpet, but that was super confusing, so I probably shouldn't do that. But it was.
But what would you?
So I just reached out to the whole community.
Yeah.
So I did yard signs at the sports fields, and I got flyers that we printed, and a bunch of different people from different units in town hung them in the windows of local businesses and restaurants.
And where did you have it? Did you have it like at a?
We had it at Parker United Methodist in the parking lot
You
outside.
did the parking. And then how did the because at the troop ship crew level, right? You've got trailers. And,
Yeah.
Somebody had all their like boating stuff. You know.
444.
Yeah. So like for
We
the
had
Cub
tables.
Scouts. Okay.
And then we had some games that we brought. So like we brought a tug of war rope, and we had some stomp rockets, and we had just like a handful of things like that. We have a backyard bass set up. Do you guys know what that is?
No.
So I have a portable pond that I bring.
Is
so
it
it's
like
a tarp. It's
Okay.
a blue tarp, and then backyard bass is a plastic fish.
Okay.
So it's a plastic fish that's flat on the bottom, and it has like a little V shape that's raised up a bit.
Uh-huh.
And then you get a casting plug, which is like a little orange plastic fish. You tie that onto the end of your fishing line so the kids can cast. And then they cast onto the tarp, and then they reel it in and try to catch the plastic fish and
And
pull
what
them in.
fishing pole do you use?
We just have a bunch of pack poles that we
Okay.
got from Cabela's or something. It was
Yeah.
like before I even got there.
Yeah.
So we just have a bunch of like super cheap, largely
So no
broken
water.
fishing poles. No,
It's
no
just
water.
Blue to
So
pretend.
it's my portable pond. So I do the same thing. That's what I do for the homeschool event that we do. Is I set that up. Like we always talk to them and get an end booth so that we can set it up out to the side.
Yeah.
Super popular. People.
So
and it's like $60.
one kid at a time.
use magnets on the fish and on the blood. That way
Okay.
they can catch them easier. Because I didn't see many people catching them when I saw them.
Oh. But it keeps them busy.
You know, like you can do like fishing for candy canes and stuff like
So,
that.
I mean,
you
there's
know?
some cool stuff. You
Yeah.
could probably like
But
put a sticker
do
in the
you
fish, and so when they catch it, it'd probably fall out. I don't know.
One kid at a time casting.
No, it's chaos.
Okay.
Yeah, pure chaos.
It's just like going to a pond someplace.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they're all gathered around. They're like,
I haven't seen
Ross.
Yeah.
not
So he was at Red Carpet here at St. Luke's,
Yeah.
and I was talking because he's like, "This event's great," and he's like, "I wish we could do this for all the Cubs." And I said, "That's a Scoutorama. It's a scout show, is what you're describing." He's like,
Okay.
But he didn't grow up in the program.
I didn't either. So I've never
So-
seen that.
What is it?
So
Scoutorama?
the community I grew up in, we had a scout show every year, which is we would rent the fairgrounds
Okay.
in the town, and every troop and pack would show up. And they'd have, like, so the troops would set up their big gateways, and monkey bridges, and everything, and kids could all come for free and go talk to the units, and you could join right
Yeah, it was
there.
a community
I love it.
recruitment.
So we had, until this year, we had Scout Show down at the National Western Stock Show Complex. And they would have all the units set up, monkey bridges and everything.
Yeah.
When you say monkey bridges, what the heck are monkey
So
bridges?
it's a rope bridge.
That goes between two
points.
crossbars.
And you have to.
So they do
How
like.
come I didn't see a monkey bridge
Typically,
at
you walk up
Gateway?
onto it. Well,
Or
so
did I miss it?
it's
They did have some pioneering stuff. They had
did.
like a tower with
They
bridges
did.
and stuff.
Troop 596 or whatever had that tower right there in the midway.
Yeah, yeah.
I did not see a monkey bridge though.
I didn't see. Yeah.
Monkey bridges are hard. Usually you have
can
to
only
have
have
a.
them, like, what's it, 4 feet off the ground before you have to go lay down because of the guy to save scouting?
Sounds about
They
right.
used to set them up. They were 14 feet off the ground. When I was
Like,
in
it
Scouts.
was cool.
Yeah.
You'd see scouts going across. Yeah. They're
Andrew
awesome.
was telling me that when he was a scout, they used to set up their own zip lines when they went camping.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh.
Thank
sounds
God
safe.
Safe Scouting ruined everything.
Yeah. So.
What was the point of
So
that?
the Scoutorama.
I mean, only the strong survived back then. Now everybody
Well,
makes it.
what I like the idea though is that by doing it on a smaller scale,
Yeah.
it's manageable. Like in the sense of, if we did one for Highlands Ranch,
Well, I mean, we did that ice cream social in August. I don't know if we actually got any kids recruited
But-
from that.
but for the ice cream
So-
social, like,
Even if you don't get kids, that's not the whole point
Right,
of.
it's being seen in the community.
Exactly.
yeah.
I mean,
So
that's
one of the things that we're working on for Parker right now is there's a community trunk or treat event.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
And I reached out to them, and we've got a trunk that we're going to work with multiple packs. So that was the best thing that I got out of that event was getting all of my Parker packs talking to each other, showing up at the same spot.
Yeah, okay, see, that's why I
huge.
think you're awesome.
Thank you.
So
Like,
if and when you do something with another pack, make sure that you let. Well, so if you do something that's not with your charter organization unit, like if you have 2 units, a scout troop and a scout pack, and they're both chartered by the same unit or by the same place,
It's
you
okay.
can do an event together.
okay.
But if they're not,
I don't know how your phone works.
then you have to get permission from council.
Okay, so,
And the reason that is because if something happens at the event, who is responsible on the insurance part of it is where it goes down to.
okay,
So there's no conflict
So-
of who's doing what.
this is what I emailed you guys about. The school that, well, our kids actually go to the same school, Northridge Elementary. PAC 620 is associated with Northridge Elementary. We're 870. But because of their smallerness at Northridge, and I'm on the PTO at Northridge, and the mom, the wife of Steve Dean's wife, Lori, is also on the PTO with me. She's like, let's do it together. So it's at the school. It's a veterans breakfast.
So all you have to do is let Evie or Asher know
Okay,
that
so-
you're going to do it, and they will say, okay.
Yeah, we did the same thing for Veterans
So I
Day
just
flag
send an
ceremonies.
email and I say, and I'll like.
These are the
put
2 units
Steve
and where they're having.
And
Okay.
where you're going to have it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because it's in the, I don't think it's in the guidance to safe scouting, it's in one of the other ones that's out there that we're supposed to follow, and it's a national thing, it's not a council thing. It's all for.
Basically, because we're under their liability
Yeah.
instead of our charter orders at that point.
Yeah. So, and they
Well,
will have.
620 and 870 technically have the same charter order.
They shouldn't have a
Council.
problem with
council.
So actually, we're going camping this weekend,
So
and there's another pack in Parker that has the same chartered org, and they're camping with us.
So
Okay.
same charter order.
Same chartered org.
Then
So,
you can do.
620 and 870 are the same charter order. Council.
there we go.
Council charter.
Council chartered, you're good.
So I don't need to say anything.
Well, I would still mention it so that they.
It wouldn't hurt to just
Okay,
be like, we're
but I
doing
just
this.
need to send
Especially if you're doing. So you should get flyers.
Well, it's not a recruit.
Sure it is.
I mean, it's
Any scouting event that you're doing in the public is a recruiting.
hey, you're in the color guard. Hand these out.
Well, I mean, as soon as you're done with the flag ceremony, then you as the adults, you're standing there and you give the kids flyers, go give them to all your classmates.
Play 620's turf, so they have to do it.
Okay.
Well,
So just have a pocket full of business cards.
you know. But you know, you just give them make sure that all your adult leaders are in at least their uniform top.
Oh yeah, they'll be.
Haley's class has kids in 4 different packs.
4 different packs.
In Haley's class, because she's in 870.
Really, all the Cubs should wear their uniforms.
There's a
So
couple
Veterans
kids in
Day,
620.
Well,
There's one
they
in
should, but the adult leaders should be so that they
72
show.
in her class,
better.
and then
Okay.
one in 625 also.
625 still has scouts.
The packs? Fine.
Oh.
Which 625?
They're the Roxborough unit.
Oh, I'm thinking of
Well, the troops will fine too, Mike.
Yeah.
Do you know?
Who are you thinking of?
the ones that were down at Coyote Creek. They start with an 8.
We should do.
Anyway,
837, 870.
one of them.
What's 872 is chartered by Grace.
So
Yeah, they're the feeder pack. Yeah, there's just one kid in her class that goes, she's in 872. And then one kid who's in 625.
How
So-
did that happen?
Well, she's in the Discovery program. So then,
So
It's open like more.
part of what I'm looking at.
well, it's
Yes.
kids
So I'm
come
not familiar
from
with Scout
all over
Trail,
the
so
district to go.
I've gone, like, every-
It's yeah, it's
that happened when I first started.
the
but
gifted
we
and
never
talented
went.
program for Highlands Peninsula. The
But
Highlands
my
Ranch
idea
kids
for
go.
the
And Rochester.
spring event sounds like that.
That was
Basically, like everybody shows up, free events in public, we advertise the heck out of it everywhere we can go.
Did you hear the question?
We should try to do it in
I
public. Do one in
heard some
Parker, do
questions
one in
and then I
Council.
had to wonder
100%.
what.
Yeah.
It was
And that's what I'm
Oh,
picturing.
they
Just
just
like,
everyone?
reach out to the middle schools and your high schools for your scout
I
troops.
wanted to be like,
There are still, I mean, like nobody wants to do it, but like,
even though.
I just-
no Cubs, no
Yes.
Scouts. You know what I mean? Like we gotta have
We have
the
to
Cubs.
do the Cubs.
So like,
Because
people don't go direct either, which they need
Not
to.
even red carpet event. That
They will
was-
never.
That's set up the way that Arapahoe District.
I personally
To a newer
Do it on
building.
Roundtable.
I can walk to Northridge, so I would prefer it to
But
stay
you
where it is.
like
So, so we lose.
he's 4th grade.
We invited everybody to come in August, and in September you say,
It's
"Ah,
not-
don't bother
Here's
coming.
the
We're
thing
gonna do a
too, can I
different
tell you
event."
about the 6th grade thing?
Yeah.
So
Well,
we
you
tried
didn't, but I
to
know
fix
about
that
it.
this year by having like
like it.
the Cub leaders show up to have like a welcome
And Ailey
thing,
would
but
be
then
the
that's,
first class that
never
would be
got
a 6th
advertised
grade.
very well.
and it's
Which is
competing
bad
because
because
council
the
is
program
doing
is
a
so isolated.
almost identical den leader orientation welcome thing.
I don't think they're getting any. They're not getting.
Yeah,
They're not getting this
They
out.
got a ton. They're probably not getting a lot of us, but there was like 40 people there
But like,
through the 2 sessions.
But they're not getting.
Because
Not
the office
us.
is right in the middle of Alpine District, isn't it? Because Alpine, yeah, it's Alpine.
Yeah,
at the
but like
school level, yes.
we're so if we're
At middle school,
competing
they-
with them at the same
Barnes and
time
Racing.
for that same thing, and we're competing on Roundtable night,
He must.
I feel like so. This has been my idea for the spring.
The school helped us.
Sounds like
Miss
Scout
Howell
Shows,
helped us.
exactly what we're talking about. Get a
and
big
Miss Lynch
parking
helped
lot
us,
somewhere,
Because Torrent is
you know,
so
something like
advanced
that.
in science.
But
They actually
lots of
connected
units.
us
Everybody
with
comes out. We do
district
Dutch
level
oven cooking. We do
district
demonstrations. We
coordinator.
do whatever. We have all kinds of cool stuff for the community. And it's Cubs, it's PACs,
No,
it's
the-
Explorers, it's everybody.
Like they need
How much does Garrett Hall's cost for the pets? He's an Eagle Scout.
Yes, I just saw that.
Yeah. Saw you under the vlog today too. Yeah, I was like, careful.
Oh, yeah.
Why wasn't he?
3 people on broadcast.
Like, why wasn't he at the sports broadcast? They're like, no, we need a bigger name than Garrett.
I got you on Davis. That's pretty cool. Yeah.
But TV wasn't a scout.
Hey.
What are you doing for the gifted? I'm like,
But so that's kind of that's what I'm thinking. But I'm thinking
for 5 years
like
where they are
Saturday morning.
the same
You
20
know what I mean?
kids,
Are we gonna hit sports
and they
in the
don't
spring?
learn,
I mean,
they
soccer's
don't
kind of
switch
it,
classes
right?
like the
You
other.
can't avoid it, unfortunately.
You cannot.
Oh, I guess baseball.
Isolate
Yeah.
them like that and then just release them into
But if
the
you're
wild.
if you're a Thursday night, they've got practice. If you're a Saturday, they've got a game. Like you can't get away from it. So yeah.
So, speaking of people who are scouts in Colorado, I don't know why they don't jump on the Steve Sager from Channel 9 News.
Oh yeah, he's an Eagle, isn't he?
And I'm like,
He lives here in our district.
well, but why doesn't the district jump on, or the council jump on and say, hey, Steve, can you do some of these events?
Oh, just
No,
an MC?
it's great.
He
It's great
probably
that
has an MC.
it's great that Susie Workin does the one for the sports breakfast. She's very good at what she does.
Yeah.
I mean, she's the perfect person for that. But I never put Steve Sager.
I know that. I can almost guarantee if you ask most of our parents and the kids, they're not
Never.
He's the.
No, I know that. But when you get somebody that I mean, he's said it on his newscast. Nominated Scott. I mean, he said it during, a couple things.
Like I don't know who he is, but if he's if he's like in the public eye and he's got a history in
You know
scouting.
how Clark is at
Yes.
Channel 9? So Clark does the 6 o'clock broadcast, Steve does the 9 o'clock.
Oh, okay.
And he'll fill in.
I think he's on a sabbatical right now.
Because he's a kid.
Until that we were
I follow him on Twitter. Because he lives down here. I'm like, oh, hey, you're actually.
So, anyway.
So that was kind of my thought was like I liked the joint recruiting night for the Cubs. We got really good turnout from the troops for the red carpet event as well.
So how many did you guys have down here?
For the red carpet, there was probably.
Did you have all the troops?
Oh, we had a ton of troops. Not all. For Highlands Range, there were.
Well, you didn't have maybe all the Inglewood and
No.
Sheridan.
We had like 10, 15 troops. Andrew would know.
So we had all the troops in Castle Rock, except for we didn't have Larkspur. They didn't go, which I kind of understand.
Larkspur is still Greater Colorado. It's not.
There's a weird one that's like way down
Monument, right?
Yeah.
They're not quite the monument, but Larkspur are. And then we didn't have 316 out of Castle Park. 316 came here.
And they came to Park.
And they came to Park.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
why the hell did they come over from Castle Pines up here?
well, because Castle Pines,
Yeah.
like 75% of the kids who are in Castle
So I don't
Pines
know if it's like
go
we
to
had a
middle
gifted
school
fund program
at
in
Rock
elementary
Canyon,
school where we just
Rocky Heights,
so
and then they go to Rocky Canyon,
that was like
which is
the
Highlands Range.
middle school,
which is Highlands Range.
advanced English, advanced
Even though they're in
math,
Castle
like,
Pines.
I was I used to go to high
did
school.
social
Right,
studies
well, so
together.
that's the reason,
county.
that's the reason they chose to go
Ah, okay.
to here, which I understand more, to go into Parker. I didn't understand going to Parker.
I think some of them live in Parker and they just scout there.
Right, all the way across. Why would you do that? You got Ponderosa and Legend right there.
I have no idea.
What they get to
So I don't know. Well, you're going from Castle Pines.
So we had,
I mean, we didn't choose to take algebra and stuff grade.
for AOLs and Weeblos, we probably had like 200 kids here.
Oh, really?
It was
The year
This
We
room,
had-
this room
I don't
was
think they
full.
offer
We had about,
spread out between the two.
We had
very
They
few
didn't have anything
Cubs
beyond
in Parker. We probably had 60 scouts, and there was probably a half dozen,
Maybe it wasn't that many. I just felt full.
well, probably a half dozen AOLs as well.
Yeah, we had relatively few. I want to say they counted 12 to 15, maybe 20.
See, and I don't think we got up to that.
But it wasn't.
We're here for red carpet.
From our pack,
Just period.
like 8.
No. Not from our pack.
No,
Period.
like 8.
AOLs?
Yeah, and it was mostly our pack. There were like 2 that was not our pack.
Who were all the other scouts here? They were all troop kids?
They were all troop kids.
Okay, well then we got really good turnout from the troops.
That's what we did too.
It
Which is good.
It
We
felt
don't-
like a ton of kids were here, but I didn't think
Yeah.
about all of them.
And we had a lot of kids. So
That's about how we did
The
Parker.
troop,
there
the troop
wasn't-
that meets here, did they have the most kids?
No.
No, we did at St. We made it St.
Oh, no, you didn't have it here.
Yeah, we had it here.
No, we
Breakout
had it
was
here.
It was here.
Yeah,
Yes.
But the troop
Troop,
meets
what's
here,
that troop?
didn't have the most kids?
Oh, 633?
633? No.
They were here.
633 was here, 873 was here, 444,
870.
870. I mean,
628, 625, 114.
We've got 4 troops that meet at 2 girls and 2 boys. And the one troop that meets on Thursday nights, they had all of them 2 scouts
show up to the event.
show up for the event.
Yeah, there were,
Two
most of
scouts.
those kids were.
They struggled with getting
were
them
Scouts
there on,
VSA.
Oh, I thought it was a bunch of AOLs.
on the first or the second Thursday.
No, there were 2 boys, our 5 girls, and then like a couple of other kids from other packs.
Apparently I wasn't checking drink patches very close. I was like, there's scouts freaking everywhere. Let's go.
Well, so we had much of the same thing where we had really good turnout from the troops, but not a ton of turnout from the packs.
I mean, I advertised it a lot in my pack.
I tried.
We tried too.
We only got a couple, and I've got 10 AOLs this year, but we only had, I think we had 2 show up.
How many people
You
went
are
to
the
Colorado
one who
Jamboree?
said this, though.
We had 50 people. Parents.
Parents included.
Yeah, we had like 28 scouts go.
I think we had 12 scouts plus parents.
Give or take.
So it was, 20, 25.
But we gained another one.
Okay.
What's that?
Sorry, I was just finishing up with
No,
worries.
charting stuff, so I thought
No,
I'd come in.
that's awesome.
we're not
We're just
discussing.
So you
We're
said
discussing what
something,
we were
Sean,
going to
about,
discuss.
I think it was you. You said something about
We're discussing anything.
Talking about
and
whatever we
everything.
feel like.
We're talking about doing a spring event in all 3 towns right now.
Okay.
We are definitely doing another AOL event
How do we want to advertise it?
in
Wait, and
the
AOL.
spring.
Okay.
So
Well, there
after
won't be
So
AOLs in the spring.
what the
There will
goal?
be, because you'll have your Weeblos.
They
After-
still won't technically be AOLs till the end of the year, though.
They can still come across.
So-
They can still come to the event.
Well,
even
yeah,
if they're
I mean,
not
like-
really.
So we're looking, and not spring, I shouldn't say spring, we're looking at probably May.
Okay. So like
After
after
graduation.
graduation, when they actually are AOLs.
So depending
But
on.
when
if
in
they've,
May?
if they've ranked up.
Like
Yeah.
a May, like a weekend in May or an evening in May?
I'm thinking Saturday morning is
We're
what
gonna-
I'm leaning toward.
Yeah, I'm gonna
I
try
know
to
there's-
push them away from Roundtable night, because I hate losing Roundtable. I think it's
Oh,
important.
no, I totally,
I
yeah.
think it's important.
And I think we end up with, one of the things that we always struggle with too is families.
May is a cuckoo crazy month.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
It is, it's graduation
Because
month, it's,
we go for our camp out, you've got Mother's Day, like,
That's
people
true.
like,
we can do it on Mother's Day, we could do it on Sunday.
Oh, yeah. That'll go real well. I already camp on my anniversary with my wife. She loves that.
We used to plan our one camp out we were doing on Mother's Day.
and then the mothers
We'd
get
have
to
it- we'd
sleep
have it on
in,
Saturday.
and you'd be like, here's your.
That might work for Scouts BSA. I don't think it's going to fly for the Cubs.
So that was what I ended up doing is we had the one joint event for the Cubs, and then we had the red carpet for the troops, and I don't see a reason why we couldn't do those together. Like the benefit that we got for the Cubs was like everybody's working together to advertise the same event. So everybody's posting stuff on social media, everybody's putting up flyers, everybody's doing all that stuff. Like
Who counts do that for us?
they might do a
It's all
little.
so
They printed a bunch of stuff for us, and they gave us a ton of yard signs.
promoted Facebook posts during recruitment. Like, come to this pack. Blah, blah, blah. Maybe I'm thinking of another council.
So I had
Black
paid them.
Feathers got their own page that we
Yeah.
could definitely do it on there.
Yeah, we can't do it on there.
This,
Well,
this
yeah,
is
I want
to
sponsored posts for people who
get
don't
the
follow
Cubs
the page.
interested.
Well, that's true because
So this is
Black
what we're
Feather-
talking about is kind of
So
a
they
a
won't,
generalized recruiting event, which would be getting new Cubs into packs, getting new older kids
Not
into
just the
troops,
geofence,
and then
just
showing the
advertise
Cubs
scouting.
the packs that or the
Like,
troops
do
that
the
are
promo
available
posts,
to them.
if somebody's on
if they
Facebook
want to
and they
cross
don't
over.
follow one of our
So just
pages,
kind of like
they
a
still
big event that's
A
just
big
open for
the only way
everyone.
that they see it is
Yeah.
if they
Okay.
do something in Scout.
No, not necessarily. You can pay to have your stuff show up on Facebook and Instagram if you
We
personally
have a
follow.
Star Wars themed event on Sunday, May 4th.
Who does?
No,
May
I'm
the
just
4th be
saying,
with you.
wait,
My oldest was almost
why?
born.
Star Wars is not nerdy.
It is, and it's okay.
Yeah.
Because I love it too.
You might have to reevaluate that thought.
We were so my oldest was almost born on May 4th. We were really excited.
So,
And then
But my wife had a 42-hour labor, and so she pushed right through. But now he and his cousin are both born on minor ethnic drinking holidays.
Oh,
So he's
Cinco de Mayo. Nice.
he's on Cinco de Mayo, and his cousin is on St. Patrick's Day.
oh my gosh. So my sister Penelope, she was
Party for your birthday.
Oh my god, I've never heard that before. That's hilarious.
So my sister Penelope, she lives in Finland. So, they're ahead of us in time. So even though it was May 3rd, my littlest niece was born on May the 4th. And in Finland, you have to get your name approved.
Oh, I've heard that, yeah.
We're like, she has a Lillian and a Liam. And I was like, Leia.
Come on, right?
But she went with Cecilia. And I was like, Cecilia?
Cecilia in Star Wars.
But I had to wait until the beginning of August to find out my niece's name.
Wow.
Do we try to avoid graduations, or do we let PAX finish with that? And then you're probably thinking first half of the month, right?
So honestly,
Because we want to stay away from Memorial Day.
yeah, because Memorial Day's travel,
School's out already.
so maybe a little earlier.
We should try to go to Boulder as Scouting Colorado.
Oh god.
I always go.
Far for
Yeah,
me.
let's just sponsor something.
The other thing too that we always do is we always do
That's
Fort
a
Logan
different
flag
council.
placement the Sunday before Memorial
Boulder's
Day.
up in the.
That's a blast. Like
Gateway
I love doing
No,
that.
Gateway's
That's
south. There's
amazing.
no
We
Gateway
got
West
so many units out
Council.
there this
Boulder's
year. It was great.
Not our jurisdiction.
But I love promoting that because pretty much every time we get somebody out there, once they see what it's like
But
and
I
they
don't know
experience
why.
it, they go every year because it's so
Boulder's
powerful.
not us.
The kids love it.
We
The
only go
parents
as far
love it.
north
Like
as
it's
Boulder.
awesome. So
Anything
that's when I
north of
really
that's
try to
not
promote because that, that's what it's all about. So. I
Our
don't know.
crossover. Oh,
Did we plan?
Our crossover is usually in April, but honestly, I'm not super worried about it. Like, I mean, the kids know if they know they're going to be AOLs, whether they've gotten the tag or not. It doesn't really matter, right? Like, they know they're going to be.
I think it's just you got to be careful with like what you're calling it because people who are less familiar with the program or whatever
Won't know to go. Well, that's so. What we're talking about for this one is like functionally Scout Show,
Right.
which is open it up to all the, open it up to the community, invite new people to the same thing, invite new older kids to meet the troops and see what they do, and then at the same time, all your current Cubs show up to see what the troop does.
Yeah,
Whatever age they are, the ones that are older can specifically meet and say, hey, when can I come visit? But just like everybody gets together and does cool Scout stuff.
And it's good for the littler kids to see what the big kids do.
I think that's cool. So that was the thing that we kind of talked about this year was like, do we want to make it only AOLs because that's what the program kind of calls for? But I think that, just show them what's going on so that they see how cool it is. And then also, and you guys have heard this from me before, like I'm a big fan of multiple packs talking to multiple troops so the kids find a good fit. Because like the troop that my pack had traditionally gone to would have been a bad fit for my son. He probably wouldn't still be doing it. So I think that's a really important thing is like we're all together, everybody finds a good fit. And then if you got to transfer, if it's not good after a while, like we're all in it together. It's not, we're not competing for numbers. We're just trying to get kids in the program.
Yeah, our kids go all over the place when they cross over.
Yeah, we crossed 6 kids to 3 troops last year. I think we crossed to 4 or 5 the year before. The year before it was all just 2.
Yeah, 6 troops last year.
Yeah, so it was like.
None of which were 870 though.
I can't help it that our committee chair and their committee chair don't talk about it. I mean, our former committee chair.
Are you a new committee chair?
Yes, he was the former one.
One thing we talked about with our troop was, obviously you have to do the AOL, connections and stuff like that. But having just a more focused events with the pack and the troops, a couple of the troops during the year where you just get together and maybe do activities in general, because I think to your point about the younger kids and having them interact with the older kids, because I think, you know, in my mind, you know, where it's like, you kind of just go, here's a chance to see the troop, you know, and you go like kind of go this one time, and you can kind of do this introduction. But if you've already been meeting these kids, you know, and doing fun events, you know, like 2 or 3 times a year since you're like 5, you know, and then you're like, okay, and you already know, like, here's your 3 troop options because you've seen them, or your 4 or 5 troop options because you've seen them, you know, the last 5 years.
Yeah.
I mean, to me, that when we started talking about crossover and everything, or opportunities for getting the kids into the pack and making them cross over, it seemed to me that, you know, just that one-time introduction at the last year was not anything. But if you said, oh, well, you give them a chance to meet, you know, multiple times over the whole time, then, you know, like by the time they get to AOLs, they'll know the kids in the troop, and they'll be like, oh yeah, my best bud, or, you know, or my best buds are my older kids that I've been, you know, doing derby cars with, or whatever it is. And so we're looking at ways to try and have a specific activity. We're not really sure what those activities are going to be, but doing a set activities with some of the troops.
Bike rally.
Yeah, good bike rally.
Yeah. Somebody suggested bike rally. And then, like, because the older kids might be willing to help with the younger kids. So I don't know if there are big opportunities to maybe do this as a larger, you know, like you could have, like, I don't know, like, red, you know, something seems like that red carpet.
Yeah.
The idea where you're saying, like, okay, these are the groups in Parker or in Highlands Ranch, and pick the season, and maybe just say, okay, let's do these activities. But I think, you know, getting the kids where they hit something over the next couple of years, I mean, I think that's key.
So you have like the jamboree, right?
Yeah.
So that's like one event. I mean, granted, the Colorado Jamboree, you didn't really have that. I mean, everybody was everywhere.
Everybody's all over the place. Yeah.
But would you say you have a little more of that at the smaller one?
Camporee?
Jamboree, thank you.
Yeah.
Is there, I don't know.
So Camporee, our district hosts a Camporee every year.
You're saying invite the Cubs out for the day for that?
They usually do. I mean, a lot of troops will invite a Cub to day trip for AOLs.
Cubs can't do Camporee.
Right, they're not allowed.
They can do.
The AWOLs can go.
The annual, okay, that's
During
the
the day.
Okay.
Yeah, they can't stay over.
Can do it as a. I think they can do it as a unit now. They can do it. They can camp. The AOLs can camp now.
They have to bring their own leaders, and they have to have a balloon and all the rest of that.
As opposed to before they would go with the troop.
Yeah.
And just stay.
Right now they can actually go by themselves as long as they've got a blue trained leader on site.
The troop affiliated with our church or whatever has invited some of the older dads to do bike rides, but I guess you have to be like able to do a certain distance on the bike ride, which the younger kids can't do, or something.
It depends on what you're doing. I mean, if they're doing cycling merit badge, there's 2 2-milers, 2 5-milers, 2 8-milers, and a 22.
Yeah,
but,
you got that down.
But I think some of
this summer.
some of it definitely requires coordination, you know, in terms of being able to have the younger ones.
Honestly, the easiest thing is, I mean, that I have tried to do is, like, I reach out to the Scoutmasters in Parker and I say, hey, we're doing Rain Gutter Regatta, we're doing Rocket Rally, we're doing Pinewood Derby. Can you send some scouts to come help us run the event? And the scouts get service hours. We've, we end up with, some mixing. So like some of the older scouts will show up and they'll kind of chat to the younger kids. Some of them won't, but like, you know, you just get some of that where they see the older kids. Like, the thing that I don't love is the idea of like one dedicated event where the troop says, AOLs, come do this, and that's all you see. Because like that doesn't give you a picture of what the troop really does.
They're set up to showcase.
Yeah, and what you want to see is like, what does a regular meeting look like? And so that's what I would want to see, and what I've talked to Scoutmasters in the past for all my AOL duns that we've done the past handful of years. It's been okay. When can we come out and visit? And a lot of them will have like, oh, well, we're doing this for whatever. And it's like, okay, cool, we'll come do that. When can we come see a regular meeting? When can we?
I asked Sean about that because his daughter and my daughter,
yeah,
they're AOLs, and just I kind of think they need to see what is it really like?
Yeah.
Some of the troops don't want you coming to regular meetings because they're not prepared for it. And
hey, is that not our motto?
Well, I disagree with them saying, well, you know, we'd rather have you come to this meeting. And then they'll tell everybody, hey, we got Cub Scouts coming to this meeting.
Everybody wear full uniform.
Well,
right? Like that's
it's like, no, I'd rather be able to go to, you know, the Scouts should be able to go to a meeting just whenever they want to go.
See what it looks like.
And see how these kids are.
Because I feel like when we talk about like just shining that
You're supposed to be able to just
girls,
show.
it's a little bit different. You know, there's not as a wide variety of choices. You know.
Yeah.
There's no Highland Ranch troops.
Oh, that's right, 1920.
Golden, yeah.
We've got one in Parker.
Isn't there's a group with Littleton?
There's 2 in Littleton, 1 in Lone but none in Highland.
I want to scoop them down.
Because 870 had a girls troop too, and they folded.
There you go. Jeez.
They got Raven. What was her name?
Claire.
To Eagle, and then they were done.
Yeah. Their last remaining scout was our den chief for a year.
So that would be another thing that I would talk to them about, is talk to your troops and see if they'll send you den chiefs. Den chief for your AOL den?
Since we run our girl program separate from our boy program, all the girl troops are like, need some den chiefs? We got some.
I love it, right? Like that's, yeah.
I think it's great.
It is
I
great,
really
but like, we're spoiled for choice.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you know, it's.
They're all being like that because we sent all of our AOLs to 114G 2 years ago.
Well, yeah, last year we sent our 1 to 628.
Yeah.
So, that's part of the reason too, though, like getting kids more opportunities. That's why I like a spring red carpet versus a fall red carpet.
Yes. Yes.
If they meet the troop, like if the first time they get a chance to meet the troop is September, then it's like, all right, when do we have a chance to go do stuff with you? It's like October. Probably they'll do something cool and fun and outdoor, and then November, December, January.
Winter
Probably
camping.
not. Like maybe your cub will go up to Clonderee with them or something, but like
I mean, if we can go
maybe
for the
not.
day, we can. But
Yeah, and that was the issue that we had. I actually need to look at the AOL adventure requirements, because it used to be you had to do an overnight or you had to do an outdoor.
Still have to do an overnight. Yeah.
Have to do an overnight with the troop?
No.
Okay.
In general.
But do you have to do an outdoor event with the troop, or just visit the troop in general?
So you're supposed to visit a troop.
Okay, visit a troop. So
You do not have
previously,
to camp with a troop.
Previously
anymore.
it was do an outdoor event with the troop.
You can either go camping or do an outdoor event.
Okay.
And you visit troops or separate.
Okay.
Yes. They've separated.
So does Colorado Jamboree camp?
Yes.
Every-
If they
Yeah,
counted. If they camped, yeah.
So what I like though is if we do it in the spring, then you give the kids so many more chances, like all through the summer into the early autumn, where they can
Just go to PG.
yeah, just go like, but like I mean the troops are doing so much fun stuff in the summer.
Like
get in there, go do
like-
that stuff.
Who did the Weelos weekend?
444.
444 did. And
then
114G did the Cheyenne Zoo thing in August.
We do need to bring back people.
They did what?
Bring back
Like
West.
an overnight at the zoo?
I don't know.
Those are cool.
I was
Yeah, I didn't. We missed that.
There was
because-
Cub resident camp and there was
Well, no, because
So they had-
I didn't know about it till Red Carpet did it already.
Yeah.
One of the districts, Frontier, used to do.
I couldn't go
We
because
learned
that was that.
something. and it
That's
was
super
big
cool.
on
We
the-
did that in February. So we always do an indoor overnight for my
Oh.
pack.
That, okay,
Yeah.
so,
They made so.
Jackie, who's our
And
Wheeler
everybody
Den
on council.
leader,
Yeah.
her daughter does Girl Scouts.
Oh, nice. Okay.
And they
Well,
did,
So it's open to everyone.
I think she said
They're the ones that
200
do it. And so they, they advertise.
Girl
that they-
Scouts.
Yeah.
They did it at the Cheyenne
council.
Zoo.
Yeah.
I guess you,
Never
the
stepped up to
cave.
do that. We know.
Cave of the Winds?
Cave of the Winds?
We used to do a family.
So,
So I'm like,
yeah.
I need it.
And then they would.
They are.
Two separate things, but she
They
said
used to do
something
Cub
like
Scout weekends
you
at Magnus.
can go spelunking or whatever. You have to be
So
older
Magnus
to
is
do
across
it.
the
Yeah.
Otherwise, but it's like this whole thing. Anyways, I don't. She's telling me about this
Never open up for scouting. For
Sunday morning.
Yeah.
Really quick conversation because
Oh,
she's
I
heading
know.
out at college.
So we
in
spaced
spring.
that.
Yeah.
But my thought was,
Which
is
is
this
good, 'cause they're-
something we
what they're
would
doing
want to
with
do,
Yeah, I saw-
kind of as a
Well, what they used to
larger
do
Cub
for the
Scout
last
for
weekend,
the
they would
area?
host it.
So,
How
They
difficult
invited-
would
they
it be?
wanted Wheelers to come.
so there's a few things. So
There were 3 days.
I really like the idea of trying to
Wednesday,
get
Thursday, Friday.
more, combined unit
On
stuff,
second camping.
especially for smaller units that have a hard time organizing things. Like,
And they would go camp.
there's a certain minimum number of
Right.
people to make something viable for the amount of work that it takes and all that
Right.
stuff.
they-
So we did Cheyenne Mountain Zoo, we did Denver Aquarium overnight, which was great. So Cave of the Winds, Cave of the Winds is cool. They have some limits.
About 15 minutes. We got to, because we have to be out.
We gotta be out of here. Okay.
Yeah, we have to clear out by 9.
Okay. So Cave of the Winds, you can do some stuff. Some of it is not available for all of our cub ages.
Right. Yeah.
So it was like 7+ you could be in the front of the cave, 10+ you could go into the cave
Okay,
or
so
something
that's
like
what she
that.
was talking about.
Yeah, so there's some kind of a
But it
rule because I
was
called them back. So you can
In the
do it.
cave?
Yeah,
No,
I think
I don't know.
I think for the older kids it can be in the cave. I think for the younger kids they said no, and I think for the little kids they don't have anything. The other thing is if you're doing 3rd grade and above, Denver Museum of Nature and Science does overnights for 3rd grade and above.
They do.
Yeah.
Do. Denver Zoo does not, but we're talking to them about it. Yeah, they stopped.
Who? What? Denver Zoo.
They killed all their scout programs this year. They're completely reworking them.
Oh, they are reworking.
Yeah, I've called them several times. They're
Because
super
I-
annoying.
Are they under new management or something? Because they're
Yes,
rechanging.
they're-
They changed their
They
name. They
changed
did a
their
bunch
name.
of stuff, but
Wait,
they said they're reworking.
The Denver Zoo Conservation
Alliance.
Association.
Oh,
I
that's
think,
right.
I think there's a new
Logo?
umbrella group. That,
Maybe
no,
so.
they kept the same
Well,
logo.
Okay.
it's got more words on it.
Yeah.
So you know how there's like the Audubon Society or Audubon something? I don't
Yeah.
know, like the New Orleans Audubon Zoo is part of a larger, like they have a parent.
Which I think that's what Denver's doing. I think they're part of a larger
I don't know what
conservative
National
conservation
Zoo
group. Yeah.
Maybe the National Zoo is still by itself. I don't know.
So I've actually been trying to find more places that do indoor overnights.
Okay.
National Western Stock Circle. Go to the complex.
But it's got to be, so for us, we do it in February. It's kind of like our last hurrah before our AOL's crossover. So we got a fall camp out, we got a summer camp out, and then we have like a winter indoor overnight that we did
So
this
we
past
do a
couple of
lock-in.
years.
Yeah.
So where do you guys do a church lock-in? We were talking about doing CAP, but we're also,
We've done CAP before.
we do like,
We're gonna do that in the beginning of March. Did you guys like that?
So
I didn't go
our
to
families
that.
like CAP. The main thing we've run into is because there's an option to either just come for the activities and leave or stay overnight. Most of our families come for the activities and like we're not sleeping here.
well, and what we end up with is that like if you show up to the Halloween, they do a Halloween free CAP day,
Yeah.
and they do the Home on the Range event. They're functionally the same thing over and over again, which it's fun stuff, but like if you're doing it 3 or 4 times in a year, it doesn't feel that special.
So that's kind of why we're looking for something else for the indoor. So I talked
Cap
to.
like every other year.
That's the
Cap
biggest
takes forever
thing.
to get to for money. There's no
Like,
fast way to cap.
Yeah.
I feel
Go
like
around.
Oh, I am aware.
to do like something really different. and
Yeah.
unique, I think I mean, it will depend because I do have parents who have the younger kiddos, and it's they can't like. It's like once your kiddos get to be a certain age, you can kind of like tag team with another parent sort of stuff. But I feel like even with my wolves, like most of them have younger siblings, like younger, and it's like for Colorado Jamboree, just nobody stayed. It was just us. So, yeah. Right? Yeah. Henry stayed. They stayed, but they left after the.
They left after the show.
After the show.
Yeah.
We had a couple of families come down and like left before dinner. Like, they
Yeah,
just
we
came
had
down
a
for the
couple
day
leave
and left
in the
before dinner and
afternoon.
just called it good.
And then we had
It's a
some
long day
families
for
that we
Cub
never,
Scouts.
Yeah.
we never.
Oh,
My
yeah.
kids were
so we never saw.
exhausted. Oh my goodness.
So you want
They-
to talk about cap and everything.
Yeah.
So cap has failed a little bit because Nova went away,
Okay.
STEM went away,
Yeah.
STEM's back, but it changed,
Kind of.
the program changed. And the other one, because they used to have sponsors, CSU was one of the big ones, they would bring in packets of stuff to do. And they donated these things. And so when you went down to cap, it wasn't just the shooting sports and the climbing. You had all the STEM events. They still do some of it, but it's not to the extent where you can go down. And it used to be you could call them up, hey, we want to do an overnighter with our pack.
Yeah.
And we want to do the STEM, and we want to do shooting sports, and we want to do the climbing.
So you could probably still do that. So I've talked to Denver Museum of Nature and Science. They have a kit. You can just go pick it up or they'll drop it off to you. So you can do that as a pack event where they'll just bring you bins of science activities. But you could probably do that at CAP too.
Yeah, but CAP used
But
to
I
have
don't
everything
think they
there.
would run it. But I didn't do it for Cubs. That's the thing. It's like there's cool stuff there, but I don't think they do it for Cubs.
There's the School of Mines, like the the little museum.
The geology one?
Yeah, the geology museum. They used to have a kit. I don't know if they still do, but I did it for those morning.
All you gotta do is
Fourth
suck your
grade
mic.
class.
Anytime I want to do something pack like somebody else is doing program, cool. Like Colorado Jamboree was like, go. I don't have to run this.
I was just a dad down there. It was crazy. I didn't run a thing.
So here's
Haley
my
spent
thought.
at least 2 hours playing with the robots in the cap tent, so I didn't even have to move for a while. It was amazing.
So what I was thinking, what I know it was a little bit of work, but it wasn't that bad of work. I think if I let's go back to the campsite and hang out, have lunch there, and then go back.
Yeah,
I
because
felt
some
like
of our
we were
families
there.
didn't know. They're like, oh, we had food, because they were going to the food trucks. I was like,
Yeah.
we sent several emails.
I know, but they didn't know
That
like
part's hard.
self-service there, right?
Yeah, that was the other thing. Not being able to contact each other.
Like when I got home, it was like these messages came.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Verizon doesn't-
I texted
It's about the
Sean
only
at
one that
like
doesn't
10
work.
a.m. and he got it at like 4 p.m.
So if you guys go out and do camper, it'll be in 4 years when you do it again. Before you drive in with your packs, meet in Elbert.
We
met at Elizabeth at
And
the
all
Walmart.
goes
in
together.
Walmart.
We had
Camp together.
But still, so the thing is it's for all the people who had like other activities that they had to do
exactly.
that Saturday morning. They came later.
But if you meet in at least most of your pack.
Here's your pack radio. Here's
Yeah,
your
I
pack
mean,
radio.
that's what we did.
Yeah.
We had 8
'Cause
cars, 10
the
cars.
pack that
Yeah,
I
we had a good
oversee,
amount.
I'm a unit commissioner. I don't have a direct contact pack. And my pack showed up like 15 minutes apart, the 5 families. So
Stacker. It's like,
they didn't camp together at all.
I had posted a pin like in our pack Discord of where I was going to be, and then like my son camped with the troop, so like gathered all my gear up and hauled it across from Dietler to Creed at
Oh
5
my
in the morning, and then set up the tent so when my wife and my younger kids got there, everything was done. So when everybody got in there in the morning, my tent was there, but I didn't have it labeled. So only the people who've camped with me enough to know which tent is mine, like, could identify it by sight and just be like set up around it.
You gotta be like,
I have a
Brad, put up your duck light.
that's right. So what are the ducky lights?
Yeah, we went all the way to the
And
top.
the three of you guys done Baloo yet?
Yes.
Oh, that's
I'm doing it tomorrow.
Oh, nice. Good for
You are? Sweet. I'll see
Yeah.
you up there.
I know we
I did Baloo before I was a registered leader.
I did
good.
Baloo
How'd
as
that work?
advancement chair, which I was definitely the only committee person.
I did Baloo, I was just talking to John, I did Baloo here. It was a one-day course when I did it.
Oh, it's at the overnight.
Instead of, they didn't start the overnight until about 8 years ago.
But you were our overnighter.
I didn't even.
Sean and I did it.
Yeah, we did the
April.
fall. Was it spring course 2 years ago?
2 years ago. Spring course this year.
The best night
Oh,
of sleep.
What are you talking about?
camping
Watching
I've ever
people's
had
tents
was
get
Baloo.
flattened by snow was hilarious.
So,
Just like one by
okay.
one.
So
Boom.
April 2023, when we did Baloo, it had snowed the weekend before.
Oh, we got snowed on, and it was brutal.
So,
We had to send people home. We're like, you got to get out of here, otherwise you're not gonna get out.
but I knew because that was somebody who did Baloo had done Wood Badge, and I was like, so when I signed up for Wood Badge this past spring, I was like, you know, it's just gonna snow. It's gonna snow. And sure enough, that second weekend, it was so cold. We had to do all the programs inside, and they even said to us, they're like, hey, if you want to do your dinner Saturday night, you know, like
Instead of
Under the
inside,
deck.
yeah, under the deck. And we were like, our patrol was like, no, we've got it. We're so cool.
Were you on Burke's course?
Mhm.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
So this
So-
past April.
Yes, this past
That was
April.
the worst Baloo course I've
It rained the whole time until it snowed.
Oh,
been
jeez.
in.
So what weekend was it? The weekend?
Did you work?
Well, I was gonna
I
say,
did work Baloo. It was my
I think the
birthday. No, it
weather's
was the
supposed to be
weekend
good
after.
tomorrow.
It's supposed to be gorgeous.
It was, I'm pretty
Because I told my wife, I was
sure.
like, hey,
It's pretty supposed to be, it's supposed to be good weather.
Wait a minute, we were out of town. I didn't realize that. it was
0
raining.
chance of precipitation.
Oh, no, it was 89
Yes.
degrees
Yeah.
on Saturday.
Yeah, it's
It's
like,
gonna be like, oh my God.
it's gonna be really
Wood
nice
Badge
weather.
next year's in March.
So
Oh, so that's
About
when
4
I was
years
wondering
ago.
what the dates were.
we woke
Yeah, it's
up.
like the last weekend
Because
of
of
March.
April. I mean, because
Because
of
of
Easter.
Easter.
Cold
It's like
when I get
the
up.
last
5
weekend of
o'clock,
March, and
38
then
degrees. So I get my wool pants on and go out and help Randy get breakfast.
I'm like,
And I'm sitting there
That's
at
what I told
11 o'clock in
Steven.
the
I
morning.
said,
Randy, I'll be back.
he was
I had to
like,
go with my truck